Sufism is often described as the soul of Islam, but its wisdom transcends all boundaries. It's more than a tradition. It's a journey that leads to the heart of human existence, tapping into the deepest parts of our being, where love, truth, and spiritual growth converge. Yet what exactly is Sufism? At its core, Sufism is not just a set of rituals or beliefs. It's a profound way of experiencing life. It invites us to embark on a path where we peel away the layers of illusion that cloud our understanding, revealing the beauty and the divinity that resides within. But why is it so vital to human life? To answer that, let's begin with a question. What is it that we're truly seeking? Most of us spend our lives in pursuit of external achievements, wealth, status, success. But even when we acquire these things, we often find ourselves feeling incomplete, as though something is missing. Sufism gently reminds us that the journey we should be taking is inward. The soul craves more than material wealth. It longs for connection with the divine, with the essence of all existence. Imagine a life where you are not merely surviving, but truly living, where every breath, every step, and every moment is a chance to experience divine love, deep peace, and fulfillment. This is what Sufism offers. It's a reminder that the answers we seek are not out there in the world, but deep within ourselves. Sufi mystics have always emphasized this inner journey, teaching that to find true peace, we must look inward and connect with the divine through love, surrender, and self-awareness. Throughout history, great Sufi poets like Rumi have expressed this message in the most beautiful of verses. Their words dance with the flame of love and the yearning for union with the divine. Their wisdom echoes through the ages, inspiring those who hear it to pursue a life filled with spiritual depth, kindness, and understanding. The importance of Sufism, then, is in how it touches the human soul, offering a way to make sense of life's struggles and bring profound meaning to every single experience. Sufism doesn't offer a rigid set of rules. It offers a way of being, a way of feeling and experiencing life. In every moment, it encourages us to shed our egos, to remove the barriers that separate us from our true essence. It challenges us to open our hearts fully, not just to the divine, but to all of creation. Because at the heart of Sufism is an understanding that we are all connected. The divine is within us, and we are within the divine. This interconnectedness is the foundation upon which the Sufi journey is built. As we explore the depths of Sufism, we begin to realize that it's not just about spirituality. It's about becoming more deeply human. It teaches us to be present, to experience each moment with awareness, and to respond to the world with compassion and love. Through Sufi practices like meditation, chanting, and whirling, practitioners open themselves to the divine presence that resides within them and around them. The world around us is often chaotic, filled with noise, distractions, and illusions. But Sufism offers a sanctuary, a peaceful, loving space where we can reconnect with our true nature. It helps us to center ourselves in a world that can often feel disorienting, guiding us back to the essence of who we truly are. But let's pause for a moment and reflect on this. How often do we take time to connect with ourselves, to quiet the noise and tune into the wisdom of our hearts? Sufism teaches us that by doing this, by listening to the still, quiet voice of the soul, we can navigate the storms of life with grace and serenity. It offers us a way to live in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. As we move forward in exploring Sufism, we begin to understand its role not only as a spiritual path, but as a profound journey of self-discovery and transformation. In a world that constantly pulls us in different directions, Sufism offers us a way to return to ourselves. It invites us to look beyond the surface of things, beyond the ego, and to discover the essence of who we truly are. This journey of self-discovery is neither quick nor easy. It's a process of peeling away the layers that mask our true nature, revealing the soul's infinite potential. Sufism teaches that we are not just our thoughts, our emotions, or our bodies. We are something much deeper, something divine. To access this divine truth, we must surrender our attachments, our fears, and our misconceptions about who we think we are. The Sufi path, often called the path of purification, is a path of transformation. It's about turning inward, examining our inner landscape, and confronting the aspects of ourselves that we may have ignored or suppressed. Through self-reflection and inner work, we begin to unravel the layers of conditioning and ego that keep us from experiencing the full breadth of our being. It's through this inner journey that we come to realize that true freedom lies not in external circumstances, but in the way we relate to ourselves and the world around us. Sufism teaches us that the process of transformation begins with awareness. It's only when we are fully present in the moment, fully aware of our thoughts, actions, and emotions, that we can begin to see clearly. Awareness is the key to unlocking the door to the heart. It's through awareness that we begin to understand that our thoughts and emotions don't define us. They are simply experiences that come and go, like the waves of the ocean. Sufism helps us to step back from these experiences and see them for what they truly are. This shift in perception is one of the most powerful aspects of Sufi practice. It's not about suppressing or denying emotions, but about observing them without attachment. By learning to detach from the constant pull of our desires and fears, we create space for something far greater, the experience of the present moment. And in this present moment, we find the peace and joy that have always been within us. Through practices like dhikr, remembrance of God, and contemplation, Sufis connect with the divine presence that is always with them. These practices help quiet the mind, allowing the heart to open to the divine love that flows through all things. It's in this space of openness and surrender that we begin to feel the deep, unwavering peace that comes from knowing our true essence. But Sufism is not just about finding peace. It's also about living that peace in the world. It's about embodying the love and wisdom of the divine in our daily interactions, and sharing that energy with others. Sufism teaches that true transformation happens when we allow the light of the divine to shine through us, affecting everyone we encounter. In this way, the path of Sufism becomes not just a personal journey, but a communal one. When we are aligned with our true selves, when we are rooted in divine love, we begin to see the world through a different lens. We no longer see others as separate from ourselves, but as reflections of the same divine essence. This realization can be a game changer. It shifts our perspective, allowing us to act with greater compassion, kindness, and understanding. The world becomes less about us and them, and more about the shared experience of being human, of being connected to the divine. At the heart of Sufism lies a truth so profound, so powerful, it transcends all religions, philosophies, and beliefs. Love. The love in Sufism is not a fleeting emotion, nor is it bound by the constraints of romantic affection. It is a force, pure, unyielding, and transformative. The Sufi mystic, Rumi, speaks of this love constantly, referring to it as the fire that burns within us, the divine spark that ignites our soul. This love is not something we seek externally. but something that resides deep within our hearts, waiting to be awakened. Love, in the Sufi sense, is not about possessing or controlling. It is about surrendering, allowing ourselves to be consumed by the beauty of the divine. This love is not one-sided. It is the love that exists between the human soul and the divine, a love that transcends the limitations of the human condition. The Sufis understand love as a path to unity with the divine, where separation dissolves and the soul reunites with its source. The love in Sufism is a call to recognize the divinity in all things. It is a way of seeing the world with eyes of compassion, with a heart that is open to the suffering and joy of others. When we look at the world through the lens of divine love, we are no longer concerned with personal gain or ego-based desires. Instead, we see the interconnectedness of all life, and we begin to act from a place of pure compassion, kindness, and selflessness. In this sense, Sufism is not just about personal enlightenment. It is about how we engage with the world. The divine love that we cultivate within ourselves extends outward to every being we encounter. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to express this love, to serve others with a pure heart, to bring peace and healing wherever we go. Love, in the Sufi tradition, is a transformative force, both for the individual and for the world. Sufism teaches that love is the ultimate purpose of human life. It is the force that drives us to seek meaning, to explore the depths of existence, and to connect with the divine. Through love, we find freedom. Freedom from fear, from anger, from hatred, and from the illusions that cloud our vision. Love liberates us from the prison of the ego, allowing us to live from a place of authenticity and truth. But what does this love look like in practice? How can we embody it in our daily lives? The answer lies in action. Sufi teachings emphasize that love is not just a feeling. It is something that must be lived, expressed, and shared. Through acts of kindness, compassion, and service, we bring the love of the divine into the world. Every small act of goodness, whether it's helping a stranger, being present for a loved one, or simply offering a smile, becomes an expression of the love that flows through us. By practicing love in our lives, we begin to experience its transformative power. The more we give of ourselves, the more we receive. The love we offer to others is reflected back to us, expanding our hearts and our capacity for kindness. In this way, love becomes a cycle, a never-ending flow that connects all beings, creating a harmonious world where peace and understanding reign. In the Sufi tradition, this love is not only personal, it is a communal force. It binds together not only individuals, but entire communities. When we all come together with hearts full of love, we create a space where healing and growth can flourish. Sufism teaches that the world itself is an expression of the divine love that permeates all existence. By aligning ourselves with this love, we contribute to the greater harmony of the universe. Sufism offers us a path to become vessels of this divine love. By purifying our hearts and opening ourselves to the divine, we become channels through which this love flows. And in this flowing love, we find the meaning of our lives. At the core of Sufi practice lies a concept that can be difficult for the modern world to embrace: surrender. In a society that celebrates independence and control, the idea of surrendering can seem counterintuitive, even paradoxical. But Sufism invites us to see surrender not as a sign of weakness, but as a profound act of strength, wisdom, and faith. To surrender, in the Sufi sense, is not about giving up or resigning oneself to fate. It is about letting go of the ego's grip on our lives and allowing the divine to guide us. It's about releasing the need for control, for certainty, and for the illusion of power that comes from the material world. Surrender in Sufism is the ultimate act of trust. Trust in the divine, trust in the flow of life, and trust in the wisdom of our own hearts. When we surrender, we stop fighting against the current of life. Instead of struggling to impose our will on the world around us, we begin to accept and flow with the natural rhythms of existence. In surrender, we allow ourselves to be carried by the divine current, trusting that wherever it leads us, it will be to a place of greater peace, greater understanding, and greater connection with the divine. But this act of surrender is not passive. It requires deep inner strength and courage. It requires us to face our fears, our doubts, and our uncertainties. It challenges us to step into the unknown with an open heart, knowing that the divine has a plan far greater than anything we could have imagined for ourselves. The wisdom of the Sufi mystics teaches that in surrender, we find freedom. We release the burden of striving, of endlessly chasing after goals that ultimately leave us unfulfilled. By surrendering our attachment to outcomes, we free ourselves from the cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. In this freedom, we experience peace, a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances, but on the inner stillness we cultivate through surrender and trust. This peace, however, does not come all at once. It is the result of consistent practice, of continually returning to the heart and the breath, of grounding ourselves in the present moment. Sufi practices such as meditation, dhikr, and mindful prayer help us to reconnect with our inner peace. As we continue to surrender our fears and attachments, this peace begins to grow, expanding within us until it radiates outward, touching all those we encounter. Through surrender, we also begin to experience a sense of unity with the world around us. The boundaries between self and other begin to dissolve. We realize that we are not separate from the divine or from the world we inhabit. We are an integral part of a larger whole. This realization is not just an intellectual understanding, it is a lived experience, felt deeply in the heart. And when we experience this unity, we also experience true compassion, a compassion that transcends judgment, division, and conflict. It is the compassion of the heart that sees the divine in everyone and everything, recognizing that we are all part of the same divine fabric. Surrender leads us to a life of harmony, where we no longer struggle against the currents of life but move with them. We find that the more we trust the flow, the more we are supported, guided, and nourished. Our relationships, our work, our creative endeavors, and even our struggles begin to take on new meaning, for they are all part of the divine unfolding. Through surrender, we experience peace, not just in our inner worlds, but in our interactions with others and in our connection to the earth itself. Sufism teaches us that peace is the natural state of the soul. It is only through our attachments, fears, and judgments that we experience conflict. When we surrender these things, we return to our true state, peace, love, and harmony with all. As we reach the end of this exploration into the heart of Sufism, let us pause for a moment to reflect on the profound wisdom and transformative power it offers. Sufism is not a destination, but a journey that beckons us to come closer to our true selves, to love deeply, to surrender freely, and to live in harmony with the divine and with all of creation. The teachings of Sufism remind us that within each of us lies a divine spark, a truth that is eternal and unchanging, waiting to be rediscovered. Through love, through surrender, through mindfulness, and through the deep connection to our hearts, we can awaken to the beauty and peace that is our birthright. So, as you move forward in your own life, remember the call of the Sufi mystics. The path is within you. The love, the peace, the wisdom you seek, everything is already there, waiting for you to embrace it. Allow the journey to unfold naturally, with each step a deepening of your connection to the divine and to the world around you. Take a moment each day to surrender, to let go of the noise and the distractions, and listen to the quiet voice within. It is here that you will find peace, and it is here that you will discover the true meaning of your life. The path of Sufism is not one of dogma or ritual. It is the path of love, of presence, and of divine connection. It is a path that invites you to see the world through the eyes of your soul, to live with an open heart, and to experience the divine presence in everything you do. In the quiet moments, when you stop to listen, you will hear it. The whisper of the divine calling you home.